Hi, cuties. Am I coming through okay? Wow. Okay. Hope everybody's having a lovely Monday evening. Okay, we already got bubble tape to level 41. I really wanted to stream yesterday, but daylight savings time just got me all fucked up. But on the bright side, I'm pretty sure our crystal save file should be back to actually having the real time. $7.23, let's go. Let's go ahead and get Fritter a lovely little haircut. Because someday she will become a blissy. Fuck! The haircut's closed on Monday, I forgot. Oh. It's an egg full of more eggs. It's very exciting. Well, dang, I don't have Maddie here. I'm actually gonna have to think of a name myself. I'm trying to think if there's this one chocolate brand my mom really liked. I think I've used Lindor already. Maddie's the one with the freaking chart. Oh my gosh. I'm useless without Maddie. Confirmed. This is it. 2 hours of me naming these eggs. I'm pretty sure we've used Crunch, the Crunch bars already. We've used Crackle. These Twigs. I know. I hope I haven't used this one already, but... like peanut brittle. Gusty, hi! How are you doing on this lovely Monday evening? Well, I guess it'd be Monday night for you. Got my... everybody grab your favorite non-carbonated, sugar-free beverage of choice. Grab another drink real quick. I'm gonna have a sip of my water. Yo, we got the Mega Drain, Execute, Egga Drain, Mega Egg, Egga Genesis, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. Well, since we're right here in Goldenrod, today's password, let me think it's Totodile. Alright, rocking it Johto style with our Totodile. Hi, did you tune into our radio show? Do you remember today's password? Yes. What your name again? Mots? Okay. Come on, Mots, join the show. Everyone ready? I want to hear you shout out today's password for Mots. Totodile! You did tune in. I'm so happy. You earned 1 point. Congratulations. Yep, our contestant was Mots. Thank you for coming. Hope all you listeners come too. Back with a big old glass of milk. You can cash in your saved points for a lovely prize of your choice. What prize would you like? Nougat. Here you go. Sell that nougat because we got a bunch of vitamins to save up for our freaking punchy guy, Tyrug. Yeah, how are you doing today, Gusty? What have you been up to on this Monday? Okay. First of all, doing good, doing line work on a character design. Hell yeah, is it for like your own personal character, or are you doing somebody else's design? It was in my horse MMO just before that. Standard Gusty, horsing around. Oh, I was asking, like, are you making, like, an OC for yourself, or did, like, somebody commission you for a character design? Fucked up in the crib with the brittle fritter. Oh, cool. Friddle over... Okay, let's move Amos back to the party. Are they based on anything like one of the games you play, like one of the MMOs? Or is it just like for your own universe? Or do you just feel like designing a character? Okay. Let's do our berry run. And we only have 5 in the party right now. Thinking with my brain. If you smell smoke, that's what it is. Yes, yes, and yes. Awesome. Well, if we got an open space in the party, let's just bring Fritter with us so she can get some more happy points for running around. Of course, it is like mandatory that you show the character to me when you're done. Mute the mic to cough for a sec. Because the weather has changed drastically again. It's got my throat fucked up. And wake up in the morning with a fucked up throat, not even for any fun reasons. Oh, I guess there's an egg I need to pick up. It's 13 minutes to stream, and I have effectively moved some Pokemon around. That's all we're doing. I made for an RP group in like 2020 or so, turned them into an open species OC in 2023, redesigned them. Take major inspiration from 2 of my favorite characters, and I'm redesigning them again to look better. Oh, they got Legacy. It's always fun to take an old character like that. Ah, it's you! We were raising your Pokemon, and my goodness, were we surprised! Your Pokemon had an egg. We don't know how it got there. But your Pokemon had it. You want it? Emery is probably one of my most loved OCs at this point. Return the tamale. Return my custard. Oh, that's right, I was breeding Magma. Now that I think about it, I should probably grab Electabuzz so I can breed an Elekid, too. Okay, Fruit Stripe, you're gonna get laid. So that Ditto can lay an egg. Daycare man, take me by the hand. Damn it, now that I think about it, I probably should have named the Electabuzz Frosted, like something for Frosted Flakes. I love Electabuzz's cry. I just love Electabuzz in general. It's one of my low-key favorites that I don't really get to use in playthroughs very much. I'm so sad because I was doing a Crystal playthrough on, like, my original cartridge. And I ended up, like, ADHD, executive dysfunction shit. I ended up putting it off for way too long. And I actually, the, odd egg you get from the daycare, it actually hatched into a shiny Elekid. I was gonna use it on my playthrough team. And, like, I was gonna use Politoed, which is another one I've always wanted to use in a playthrough before. Because, you know, at the time, like, my gold and silver cartridges worked as well, so I could trade and actually get a Politoed. You'll leave Amos there for the moment. But yeah, like, I just took too long and the battery died again, so I lost all that save data. It sucks, and it's like the people I used to go to for, replacing Game Boy and Game Boy Color batteries. There's a little, like, retro game store that's about an hour drive from me. They just didn't have any Game Boy batteries, and I just haven't been able to go up there since. So currently, like, all my gold, silver, and crystal cartridges that I actually physically own just ain't doing right now. Which sucks, because I love Stadium 2 so much, and I really wanted to build competitive teams to play Stadium 2 on my N64. Because all my red, blue, and yellow cartridges I have still work. I have been very fortunate that the batteries have stayed, like, working in those. Because it's just a roulette which production run you get when it comes to Game Boy, or Super Nintendo, or basically any of the cartridge games that use batteries. Because some batteries will last for, like, 10 years, some will last for 40 or 50. Like, there are NES, like, games like Zelda 1 that came out in 1987, where their batteries are still rocking to this day. It's just that, as I've mentioned before, Gold, Silver, and Crystal eat through batteries really fast, because in addition to holding your save data, the button cell battery inside the cartridge also has to power a Crystal Oscillator for timekeeping. These games were in more ways than one a little too ahead of their time. Clamp! At Hoot Hoot fainted from having to read the ending for Jobits. Red Apricorn, blue Apricorn, blip Apricorn. You know, I realized I think it's been more than a week since I played Crystal on stream, which is really weird. But I also kind of got wrapped up in the Fire Red hype, so... Which I'm still hyped about it. I definitely want to play some more, but... I don't want to, like, leave Crystal in the dust or anything. Also, lately, I've just spontaneously gotten, like, super re-obsessed with, like, Castlevania, so you guys almost got another just Aria of Sorrow stream from the beginning again, but I didn't want to do that. At least not this soon. Maybe one day in the far future, when I'm a streamer with years of streaming under my belt, maybe we'll do another replay. It's like, oh, remember I played this way back when I started? It is weird to me that I've only really been streaming since June because it just feels like one of those things I've always done. Sorry for being quiet a little bit. I was feverishly searching for all of Emery's iterations. No, it's okay. You're not... I will sit here and yap of completely my own volition. You don't have to, like... Because I know a lot of people like LD and stuff, they like to come in and just, you know... Like, 7th Force will be working on editing his videos, or LD will be working on her art and stuff. And just vibe and listen to me yap. Last one being the whip of their hopefully final design. Ooh, let me check the Discord. I think you've shown me Emery at least once, because I recognize the older ones. The new design style looks fantastic, though. It really is awesome, just like, watching your art evolve through this one character. Go ahead and sell my nougat. So let's do a quick dex check here. Okay, so Vulpix is not in Crystal. Mankey's not in Crystal. Oyster we're working on, Gengar, Gengar, Alakazam, Machamp, they're all trade. Exeggutor we're about to start working on. Hitmonchan, we gotta save up for the vitamins. Omanite and Kabuto, you both have to trade from a Gen 1 game. Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres are the same thing. Genie's gonna be an adventure. It's Mewtwo and Mew, which you have to trade from Gen 1 games. Can't get the other starters right now. Oh, that's Mareep, which we gotta trade from Gold or Silver. That's Politoed, which is also a trade evolution. Slowking's a trade evolution. Girafareg's not in Crystal. Steelix is a trade. Sizer, I think, which is also a trade evolution. Remoraid's not in Crystal. Hitman and Stantler. I can't remember what that is. Hitmontop is one we're gonna have to spend a lot of money on. Tank. I think these guys here are... So, because Entei we're gonna have to chase down. I think these guys here are Smoochum, Elekid, and Magby. So honestly, I don't know if there's anything we're gonna have to actually catch with a Pokeball besides Entei and Ho-Oh. Hi, Arnie. Yeah, hello, Arnie calling. You awake now, Mots? I'm always with my Venonat. It's so cute. I just love it. Changing the topic here. I saw this Abra for the first time. It was easy to beat, actually. Let's talk again, huh? Okay, sell the nugget. Gonna sell the nugget. Yay! Basically, since we get 1 point from Buena's thingamabobber, basically every day we play, every 3 days we play, we can get a nugget. But that's probably gonna fund our Tyrogue. Magmanite. I apologize for any noises I accidentally hit my mic. Actually, let me check something real quick. Because I know, like, all of the Pokemon games after, almost all the Pokemon games after Gold, Silver, and Crystal have some kind of, like, in-universe device or whatever. That, basically takes a lot of key item functions and makes them part of the device. You know, like the town map from Red and Blue or whatever. And I know, like, with, I think the Poketch in Diamond and Pearl, they, like, have the item finder as part of that. Though it's interesting with how some of the items were portrayed on, like, the old trading cards from Generation 1, because the item finder is made to look like it's a slightly more high-tech version of, like, dowsing rods. It's like those little rods at right angles, and, you know, you hold them, and then apparently when they move on their own, they find water underground. Though I was actually really surprised because the potions look a very specific way in the trading card games. And I guess that was, like, either from original documents or just from, like, Japanese magazine or instruction manual stuff that never got released. Because I think Emerald, maybe Fire Red and Leaf... No, Fire Red and Leaf Green were the first ones that actually showed what items looked like on screen, instead of just being, like, text in the bag. And, like, the potions and revives and all that stuff look pretty much exactly like what was in the trading card game. Though granted, I'd be really interested to see one of the instruction manuals from, like, Japanese Red and Green. So, like, I wonder if all that stuff's shown in there, because a lot of old instruction manuals for RPGs would have, like, really in-depth, explanations of stuff like the items and abilities and all that stuff. They were basically made with the expectation that you would have the manual right there with you while you were playing, so you could double-check what stuff does. Because a lot of older games aren't as obtuse as they can seem now, because you're intended to have a big, thick manual. Sorry, I'm in ADHD wiggling mode and I keep hitting the mic. I need to back up. You know, one thing I feel like kind of messes with my flow a little bit when I'm playing Heart Gold or Soul Silver is having, like, every single berry tree, not just the apricorns, but every berry tree is replaced with apricorns. Which means, like, the fact that in Heart Gold and Soul Silver you can also give Kurt multiple apricorns per day, it is ludicrously easy to, like, if you play Heart Gold or Soul Silver daily, to get just hundreds of Pokeballs. But it also has this weird knock-on effect of, you know, in Gold, Silver, and Crystal, you almost never need to buy, like, antidotes or paralyze heals or anything like that. Just because, you know, even if you don't have a Pokemon hold them, you know, like the Poison Cure Berries or Paralyze Cure Berries will do the same thing outside of battle that an antidote or a paralyze heal would. So, like, I don't know if... Because, like, I feel like since the berry system was still pretty new, you know, it being introduced in Ruby and Sapphire, you know, for the Gen 4 games, I guess they didn't want you just finding berries in the little trees like this without having to plant them. Because to get the berries like Lepa berries and cherry berries and all that stuff, you know, the more traditional Pokemon berries from Gen 3 onward, there's a little, like, planter in your backpack that you can, like, monitor and stuff and water. Though it is interesting that a key item in Gold, Silver, and Crystal is the Squirt Bottle, which is, you know, ostensibly for watering plants. But you can't actually water anything with it but Sudowoodo. Gonna lurk a bit as I'm getting overstimulated. That's fine. Just chill and vibe. Also, I do have a lurk command, ! Lurk. Back up to 91 berries already. Gonna give it a hop. Also, one thing I don't think I ever mentioned or pointed out, you notice Chansey on the team. Soft-boiled is actually something that can be used out of battle. And in battle it works like a move like Recover, but outside of battle both it and the move Milk Drink will reduce the Pokemon using its HP and restore 1/2 of the HP, so they actually do have, like, functionality as a healer outside of battle. bubble tape is almost there, so let's go ahead and take them over to Graveler Land and get them to level 50. Always with the Supersonics and Confuse Rays. Hack. Okay, goodbye. Route 28 is technically in Kanto. You know, it always gets me that none of the Kanto remakes even ever have, like, Mount Silver or anything. Let's go ahead and go to Computer City. Okay, wait a minute. Got the Cheeto Chew up for a moment. Because since it's Monday, we can go over to Mount Moon and watch the Clefairy dance. Takigi. Julia Michelle Heineman, what are you doing? You know, especially with playing Fire Red recently, it always gets me that, like, the Pokemon Center's just not here in Gold, Silver, and Crystal by the one by Mount Moon. It is there in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, though. Ooh, since Bubble Tape's missing a little bit, I can show off Soft Boiled. That's another reason why Chansey's such a big HP tank, is it can sacrifice its HP to heal its allies outside of battle. You inspect the rubble, and you get a Moonstone. You can get one every single Monday. The very truncated Mount Moon. Again, I haven't played a lot of this in Fire Red very recently. My husband lives happily with Pokemon he got through trades. Ah, I'm so happy. You see, this is the house in red, blue, and yellow